there, welcome to All Sorts of Adventure. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Nate.
And we are
Adventures with the Budget. For those of you who haven't been following, Sarah and I are living out of our pop-up trailer in Alaska, but for the next 3 months before we jump across the pond to Spain. And welcome to our crib. Hey everyone, meet the Oreo. This is the vehicle Sarah and I are traveling out of this summer. Why is it the Oreo, you ask? Because it has a dark outside with the creamy white filling with the topper there.
Ooh.
And then we've got the kayak, which is the lime.
That
but really,
makes so much sense.
For anyone who's interested, it's a Chevy Silverado 07 1500 LT. So we're gonna start with this review of the rig, I guess, from front to back. It seems like the most logical way to do it. So with that, we'll start with the cab. Okay, let Sarah catch up here. So Sarah and I do our best to keep the cab as clean as possible. Might not always happen, but we try. So if you look inside here, the main thing we want to point out here is that we have, for our power, we have a Yeti from Goal Zero 400 watt hour battery, and that is our power for everything out here. So if it's not charging in the back like it is right now with the solar panel, it's going to be up here with us charging off the inverter from the car. So if we're driving, it's in here. That's pretty much all there is to see here. So now we'll look in the back. Okay, in the back here, this is where we'll keep all of the camera equipment. We'll usually keep the camera and the computers here. That way they're accessible for anything we wish to do. In the bottom here, this is where we'll keep, that's the shovel for poop right now. But in the bottom here, we'll keep everything like tools, recovery equipment, air compressor, first aid, other things like that, things that we need to, the fix-it kit.
Anything you might need in an emergency.
Anything that we might need to aid the vehicle. And that's pretty much all there is up front. Now the top here, this is where we have the kayak, otherwise it is known as the lime portion of the Oreo.
The lime is sitting right over there. Hi, lime.
Lime's by itself right now because it's being used on the water, but we'll put the kayak up here, secure it 4 points because we're responsible kayak drivers. And then we go to the other side, we have the Yakima topper. And it should be noted that all these things were purchased very good on the budget, very conscientious of the budget in mind.
And we're starting our sticker collection.
And finally, yeah, we're just finally putting the stickers up here. That was the wrong way. So in the topper, things we'll keep up here are things like firewood, things that we don't necessarily need to get to every day, but things that we'd still like fairly easy access to. So we got towels, we got extra bags, we got bags of other bags for storage and things like that, miscellaneous equipment, and that's basically what we have up here. This is the bag, this is the odds and ends area. Okay, and now this takes us to probably my favorite part, the topper here. So this topper, I know I did a couple Instagram things about it, but this was purchased mega on a budget. Topper was purchased for $100 from a junkyard, and then it was missing a back door. So with the help of a buddy, shout out to Paulo West, we put a back door on and did a couple other modifications. So you'll see we've got these 2 poles here. This was a broom found on the side of the road from an event we did, the Ruck March, which you could see previous videos of that. So we just got little anchor points, and this is a glove. We got the pole here, and then that's just a hose washer there, or a hose clamp. Okay, and that's how we secure that. The topper itself is on a set of 2x6s, just because it wasn't the exact width of the vehicle, but these 2x6s have come in super handy, as you can see here. And we can have shackles on it to lock the back, supports for the back, what would be back glass, and let's look inside now. So we'll carry all of our water, and between this jug and another jug we have here, that'll be on the trailer. And then we've got our table. All of our food and such is here. We don't have like a Dometic refrigerator or anything. Everything, all of our cold foods are kept in this 65-liter Yeti, which again, don't judge us. I more than likely wouldn't pay what the like MSRP prices for this, but we bought this on discount at a garage sale, something like that. So
For $100.
for $100. So
So it's a great deal because it keeps all of our ice.
it's a great deal. We only have to buy ice maybe once a week,
Yeah.
depending on if we're using it for drinks or other things like that, or if we're putting fish and stuff in here. So this is the Yeti. We've got another cooler for dry foods, and so things that obviously don't need cooled. We'll just cut that part out. Okay, so if we get in the back here, this is the other probably big modification to this thing. We've got a shelf here. The shelf up here stores everything, again, that we just like the Yakima topper, that we don't need quick access to. So we'll have all of our climbing equipment, ropes, extra like outdoor cold weather sleeping bags. I got some fishing tackle up here. We've got our sleeping pads, backpacking bags. All that stuff is up there. We're not using that every day. So as I was saying here, we've got the bungee system, and this just allows us to put things like jackets, shoes, fishing poles, the oars for the kayak, all those things that we might need to get to that we just want to tuck away quickly and get access to. And so that's the bungee system. From here, this green box is pretty much everything that's rigid that needs to stand or otherwise can't collapse. So we've got poles, light stands, tripods, an axe, chairs, all those things in there. Moving right, we've got our scuba or our water sports kit. I would basically just label it. We've got our scuba gear in there, snorkel, water boots, all those things. And then my favorite bin probably on the right that's all the, whether it's Army tactical or camping cool guy stuff that we use just like for the fire making challenge where Sarah smoked my butt.
Pun intended?
Pun intended, yes. And then we're still trying to figure out our lives, so we've got like miscellaneous box of miscellaneous goods, and
Don't look at that box.
we've got fishing waders because we're doing fishing stuff right now, which will all be given back to Uncle Steve. And we got a dirty laundry bag. Very important because we did not get one, but a trash bag, constantly replacing a torn up trash bag, I didn't like it, so we got a real bag for it. Okay, now we'll leave the stuff in the truck here and we'll move on to the trailer. Starting here, the trailer at the hitch. We've got a little platform, again, buddy John helped us make. And so this just allows us to take things that we don't want to put in there, like gasoline or extra water, and store them out here so that they don't stink up the back or don't spill or anything. So next to that, we've got a 20-pound propane tank, which has been plenty for us. It's still, I think, like half full, and we use it for Sarah's oatmeal and hot tea, all that stuff, right, Sarah? Mm-hmm. So no problems there. And yeah, we'll move on. Before going inside, we'll just note up top, as we're setting up the pop-up every time, we've got a 100-watt panel that we'll put up there that'll otherwise store inside the camper. It's like a case, and that panel enables us to charge the Yeti Goal Zero 400 watt-hour battery that moves between the truck when we're driving to charge by the inverter and the camper to charge by the solar panel. So with that, we'll take a look at that right now. Welcome inside. This is the living space. This is where Sarah and I do our work, sleep, cooking, and all that shenanigans. So we'll just start, I guess we're starting at this end here. Moving along in order, we've got, this is just storage. As we put this thing up, obviously we only need one side. So we'll just throw everything that we don't need out in the open over here. So we've got like our sleeping stuff that goes in here, miscellaneous things for doing like laundry or cooking, whatever. The camera bag will go from the truck and come in here so that we can continue working or get footage off from the day. And then we've each got our clothes bag. This is my clothes bag, and then this is Sarah's little suitcase. Many photos to come of this with all her little stickers, her little Mary Poppins like stuff. And then we've got more blankets and stuff here because the more blankets, the more things to snuggle up with, the better. That's one of the comforts we have here. Underneath here, should we need it, we do have a portable toilet. To this day yet, we've not needed to use it because neither Sarah nor I wants to empty it. So we'll just stick with restaurants and the woods pretty much until we need it. For safety, we got fire extinguisher inside here. We've got games, Yahtzee, which is missing dice, so that's kind of a bummer. And then Boggle, which Sarah's an English teacher and kicks my butt in every time. This is the cooking area. When this is not in use, For those who aren't familiar with the pop-up trailer, it's really simple. It's just with a lift here, and the whole unit will lower, and that enables you to collapse the entire trailer. When it is in use, you simply lift, put it back in place. This gives us access to a 2-stove top burner, which is obviously fueled by the propane tank out there. We've got a secondary stove top, which we can put on the outside, which, here's some footage here of it singeing all the hairs off my hand. Are you okay? And then we have a sink, should we wish to use it. We really don't want to be emptying or filling anything up other than what we have, so we don't really use the sink for its actual purposes. Moving over here, the other fun stuff. This is the battery I've been talking about. This is our Yeti Goal Zero 400 watt-hour battery. So when it's in here, we just simply have our cord as we set up the trailer that connects to the panel. And this is an 8-foot cord. I can probably put the link in the description. I think I can figure that out. With an adapter for the 18 watt-hour, or for the 18 millimeter cord for Goal Zero. And so purchase those two components separately, and that enables you to have power. Which, unfortunately, it's nice and bright outside in Alaska right now, but we are perfectly parked behind this tree, and we have zero access to sunlight right now. It's a great umbrella, which we're not too concerned about because, yeah, 4 watts. 4 watts, that's terrible for the panel, but we have free power. Moving over here now, Sarah and I will typically do all of our work here, at least most of it, if we're not doing work outside. No designated sides, but it's big enough for us to work and simply move aside for us to get in and out. These seats actually work as the third bed should we have a lot of guests over, where the table will collapse down and then the cushions will go on top of it. This brings us to our bed. So one of the things we did not sacrifice was the style, so we have the nice comforter. Sarah's a big fan of the plush. Yeah, plush. Is this plush? Yeah, plush blankets. And then we've got our pillows. You might notice all these little black dots on the canvas around the tent here, and that is entirely my fault. Mosquitoes can get into pop-ups. Let that be a lesson for those of you. And for those who aren't aware, in Alaska, mosquitoes are the size of small hummingbirds most of the time.
Well, the problem with it is he likes to like smear the mosquitoes.
It's just
at like 4 in the morning, he just starts clapping.
Well, you don't know, mosquitoes are actually very resilient creatures, if you didn't know, and a mere smack does not kill them. It's a smack and a rub. Smack and a rub, and that usually gets the job done.
He's painted our bed with mosquitoes.
With our blood.
So, we'll clean it up, but...
that covers pretty much everything on the inside. Covered the 3 beds, the desk, workspace, and now we will move outside to look at some of the extra amenities. My lady.
Thank you.
So it's worth noting that this setup Sarah and I have just shown you is an extravagant one. It's very conspicuous. It's not at all secret or hidden. That's kind of the thing we're learning about the pop-up, is that you need space to put it up, you need time to put it up, and sometimes Sarah and I don't actually get to set it up. Sometimes the pop-up just gets set up while attached to the truck. Sometimes the pop-up doesn't get set up and we just sleep in the truck. And then sometimes, as Sarah was reminding me earlier, we just sleep in a hammock on the side of the road for a little bit and continue on. So it's really nice when we get the chance to have this extravagant setup. We've even got our little shower here, which I didn't show earlier. We've got our, what is this, Easy Up, our little canopy here that just sits in the back of the truck. But yeah, this is our current setup. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you got something constructive and awesome from this video. If so, let us know down below. As we say on this channel, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and continue to adventure and do everything within the budget. I want to thank Sarah for doing an amazing job behind the camera, and we will see you guys on the next video.